I'm gonna try not to get emotional in this one. 10 people in my family got the coronavirus. Now I'm out here looking like revenge. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. The name is Tumisang Mokhale. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. Please consider clicking the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can keep updated with all of my latest videos. So if you are watching this video, you probably know already by the title that I do have the coronavirus. And the reason why I decided to film this video is because I noticed something once I did contract the virus, and that is that the media does not, and I don't blame them for this, the media focuses more on preventative measures and precautionary measures to take, that when a person does get the virus, it's like they don't know what to do. Sure, there'll be, basic and natural prompts like contacting your healthcare provider, but a lot of what I learned about the virus, I only did when I got it. I'll start by saying I'm good, I'm okay, I'm so grateful to God for that. I'm gonna try not to get emotional in this one. I really am grateful to God. He's blessed my family in a way that I simply cannot even explain. So I'll start with how I contracted the virus. Me, the most paranoid girl about this virus. I did everything. I wore my mask, I sanitized, I washed my hands frequently to the extent whereby my hands would peel every now and then. I did everything, social distancing, but I still contracted the virus, and it's something funny about life, but I'll explain how I got it, and then I'll get to the main message that I want to share with you guys today. So I was with family. Obviously, with family, you don't wear a mask around family. So my uncle on a certain day got sick, and he was showing symptoms, was coughing, blah blah blah, and then so did next, like a day later or something, his wife did, and his kids too. And my grandmother just said, it's probably just flu because it was chilly the previous night that we were together, and perhaps because of smoke inhalation. So we're like, okay, sharp, it's cool. And then a day or two later, my mom starts showing symptoms as well. So does my little sister, and so does my aunt. And we just keep saying, my grandmother keeps saying the same thing, flu. I'm like, okay. And that's the thing about the coronavirus. It becomes difficult to tell between flu and the virus itself. Until my uncle decided to just be like the brave one, the bold one, just take the test, blah, just, coronavirus. And then he went to test, and his test results came back positive. And then everybody else in his family tested, and their results came back positive. And then my aunt went to get tested, my other one, my mom's sister, she tested and her results came back positive. And then my grandmother started showing symptoms and started coughing, and I was like, girl, stay far away from me. Yeah. And then I was the very last one in the family to show any symptoms. And yeah, it started with, I'll talk about my symptoms a little bit later. Or should I talk about them now? Oh, let me talk about them now, actually. It started with a sore throat, and that's generally how a flu starts for me every other year. Started with a sore throat, and then about a day or two later, I started coughing, and my grandmother was like, I'm like, you are the one who infected me, sorry. But I was like, it's fine, it's okay. And then I started experiencing some crazy symptoms. I started having body aches and aches around my joints and my knees, honey, my knees and back were very problematic. The headaches, I had those as well. And the funny thing about the headache is it wasn't the typical kind of headache that I usually have. That annoying dun, 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 dun. No, it felt like literally being hit by a brick, and then the ache would just rush through the body, and I couldn't stand for some time. I couldn't stand for too long. but you know, lying down and resting helped with that, and then I'd get better. I felt extremely weak and extremely tired for absolutely no reason. And then my grandmother and I decided, hey, we're showing too many symptoms, but let's go test. And we went to test, and the results came back positive. So for both of us. So when I was reading my results, I wasn't sure. That was a very shocking experience for me. I didn't think I was reading it right. I kept on reading it a couple of times, thinking, maybe positive, optimistic. No, darling. But the virus has been detected. But I was like, okay, sharp. And yeah, so 10 people in my family got the coronavirus. Yeah. Anyway, that was a lot. But for me, the worst symptom was definitely the chest pains. I didn't even know how to deal with them, and I was popping pills like I could see with the painkiller. The chest pains were the worst, and I decided after realizing that I do have the virus, that I would not tell. Well, I did share it with my family, but I decided that I would not tell anybody. I would not now post it all over Instagram or WhatsApp and Twitter or whatever. I just wanted to focus on myself and my healing process. I didn't want to attract any attention, focus on dealing with a life-threatening issue, and at the same time, even if it's just for, you know, they're just sending some kind words, even if they're just checking on how I'm doing. I didn't want to deal with too much of that. And yeah, you know, at times I said this in one of my Instagram posts, and if you're not following me on Instagram, you should. I said this in one of my Instagram posts: be careful who you tell bad news to, and be careful who you tell good news to. Some people will check on you because they do care, but others, that's not the case. They're just trying to find some information or gossip, and gossip and being used as a bonding tool. But anyway, the only other person who I did tell who was not family was my boyfriend, and yeah, he was very supportive. So now I'll talk about how I dealt with the thing. Well, I mean, yeah, I did get medical attention. I was taking a lot of pills. It was what I counted them. In a day, I'd take about 13 to 20 pills, and that was including supplements. So they weren't all pills. That was including, you know, vitamins and immune system boosters. Yeah, that is the most. That was great. I could not believe that a doctor could tell me to take.
I'm dying.
8 painkillers in a day. 8 painkillers in one day for every day for a consecutive amount. Please don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not saying that you should do that. Obviously, I was getting help from a doctor, but it was. I don't think that they were strong painkillers. The painkillers that I've used in the past were much stronger than those. Yeah, those were just painkillers, and then I was also taking a couple of other vitamins. Yeah, it was crazy, and just being confronted. But the number of pills I was taking also just made me more anxious. I wasn't sure about things, honestly. Like, yeah, I took my medication as I was supposed to. I drank a lot of water. I in fact just decided to stop drinking the juicy, the cold drinking at least. I decided not to drink any of those. Actually, it wasn't a decision really. It kind of just happened around the same time that another symptom that I did have was complete loss of appetite. I had no appetite, so I didn't even feel like drinking anything sweet. You understand? So I just drank water, a lot of water. I tried to relax. I watched a lot of YouTube. I was on television. I wasn't on television, man, but I will be. I was watching. I didn't want to, do too much or strain my body or anything. I did what the doctor asked me to do, and yeah, my boyfriend was extremely supportive. I'm really grateful for him, and he would remind me to take my pills and remind me to eat because there was zero appetite and I needed to eat to take my pills. Yeah, I did all of that. Ma! Okay, come say hi. Come say hi. Yeah.
Who's that?
No, there's nobody. Here's my grandma. She came to visit y'all. Say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi with your hand, Ma. Say hi. Hey, everybody. Okay. Yeah, apart from that, how I dealt with it was also through prayer. I prayed a lot. I didn't lose my faith. My faith didn't waver at all. I kept to God, and yeah, to Him be the glory. Yeah, hallelujah. Yeah, I did a lot of reading. I decided to sort of like distract myself from the virus or my condition. I didn't want to listen too much to, okay, what's my body doing? Although one thing about the virus, you have to track what's happening each day. It's like everybody developed a new symptom every day and another one left at the same time. So we were improving and not, I also dealt with it by not reading about the virus, about statistics rather. I stopped watching the news. Not really. I was watching news, but as soon as COVID-19 came on, it just brought me down. So I wasn't really listening or paying attention. Just plug in my earphones and I'm good or whatever. Go to my room or whatever. But thing is, I also read the news, so I get the notifications on my phone. And whenever I would see the COVID-19 stats, the deaths, I just chose not to take in that information. I didn't need that kind of information at that point in time. And that did help because taking in so much of such negative information can, create for other problems, depression, etc. And I didn't need that. Otherwise, having this thing has been rather interesting. It's been tough. It's been scary. It's caused quite a lot of anxiety. I was very uncertain about how things would turn out for me. Yeah, it was not nice. It really wasn't, especially the pains. I think for me that was the worst symptom. Although I forgot to say, I did experience complete loss of taste and smell. That was the most frustrating symptom because cooking was a problem. I couldn't taste this spice. I couldn't. That was the most frustrating one because obviously that came with loss of appetite as well. The fact that I had both those symptoms combined was just, I don't know, it didn't work for me. I could definitely taste the texture. I could feel the texture of the food that I was eating, but I didn't even enjoy the food. So also in dealing with it, my grandmother and I we helped each other, and that was the only way to get around this entire thing that we were experiencing. We helped each other, cooking, making tea for each other, steaming. We did everything. Lady eucalyptus oil, we were doing all of those things. But I will say with steaming, you need to be careful. It's not for everybody, especially if you have hypertension. Yeah, that's how we got around it, and today we are here. We're good. Everybody's good. All 10 of us. That's just unbelievable. I'm just so grateful. So my grandmother and I's isolation period officially ended, and yeah, we decided to take a walk. We'd been so housebound and so bored of being housebound. We decided to just take a bit of a walk. It was a little bit later in the evening, kind of, when the sun is not too hot, and that walk was quite nice. There was a great breeze. Thank you for making the conditions walkable morena. We have been through a lot. And whilst walking, we actually came across some couple of nice places. We took a walk to a side of like where we live, where we generally don't go. Yeah, saw some nice places. There was a beautiful restaurant that we came across, and we went to the restaurant. Yeah, so it was a very fruitful walk, I'll give it that. Right now, I am good. I am okay. I'm as good as can be. It has been a while since I got the chest pains and all of those. I'm so happy. Like Ramasedi came through. Let's go. Hey, get testimony. So yeah, the main message that I want to share with everyone today is as people, we tend to think that we are immune, not to the virus or anything health related. We tend to think that we are immune to certain things happening to us, certain events, certain experiences, and the truth is things work in funny. This life thing is funny, and things can happen to you no matter who you are, where you are. And that's just the way life is.
That's how life it is.
I encourage you to take on whatever life throws at you. Don't lose your faith, but in the same breath, you also need to work towards making things better for yourself and improving yourself. That is it from me. That is my coronavirus story. At this point in time where I am, I'm at a stage whereby the virus is no longer transmissible, which means that I cannot transmit the virus onto somebody else who is perhaps negative and does not have the coronavirus. Yes, this is the end of my video, and I just want to encourage you all to still take those precautionary measures. Wash your hands, sanitize, wear masks, be socially distant, and again, another message that I want to reinforce is that you can take all of those precautionary measures, but if you are not having certain important conversations with the people who you take your mask off around, it's as good as walking straight into the face of the virus. That is it from me. Thank you so much for watching this video. Comment down below what you think of what I've said long. Or if you have any questions for me. This is goodbye from me. Stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. Love.